kids can be very messy, especially when it comes to the back seat. When you have kids coming in and out with sports equipment and cleats and just spilling drinks and food all over the place, but that's no reason to have a dirty interior. So that's why today we're showing you guys how to clean it up. First things first, we're gonna start off by removing all of the owner's belongings. That way we can conduct a deep clean. Oh. The next thing that we have to do is get all the heavy abrasive particles out of the way before we conduct our deep clean. So that consists of everything that you see right here. So all the dirt, all the grime, all the debris, all the candy, the cookies, the grass patches, you name it, all that stuff, we want to make sure to remove that stuff out of the way because we will be conducting a deep clean on the leather, on the door panels, on the carpets, and much more. So we want to make sure that that stuff is out of the way because the last thing that you want to worry about is having to clean all these panels when you have all this debris in the way. So we're going to go ahead and grab our vacuum all the heavy stuff out of the way, and then we'll conduct the deep clean. All right guys, so now that we finished vacuuming and we got all the heavy debris out of the way, now it's time to focus on the actual cleaning aspect of this detail. Now if you guys take a look up close, you guys will see that this door panel has all kinds of dirt, grime, sunscreen oils, food stains, food spills, fingerprint oils up here. So we're gonna go ahead and clean that up right now with a couple products. First and foremost, we have our Nonsense all-purpose cleaner and we have a boar's hair detailing brush. Now when it comes to messes like these, you want to go ahead and use something that's more of a deep cleaner as opposed to like a maintenance cleaner like Total Interior. So that's why we're using Nonsense. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray directly on the entire door panel, just kind of speed things along a little bit. And then we're also going to spray some directly onto our boar's hair detailing brush. And then we're simply just going to go to town agitating the surface, because what this cleaner is going to do for the surface is it's going to remove all the dirt, grime, all the embedded contaminants from the surface, along with any kind of previous dressings that we may have on this panel, just to ensure that it's a full deep clean and there's absolutely nothing at all, not even protectants that are lingering on the surface. Now the reason that I want to deep clean it in the first place is because I want to recoat it with a dressing. Now we'll elaborate a little bit more on the dressing, but right now we want to make sure to clean the surface. Now whenever it comes to dressings, you want to make sure that you thoroughly clean the surface, because if you apply the dressing on a dirty surface, well, it's just not going to last long and it's not going to look great. So that's why we take our time here prepping the surface with our Nonsense all-purpose cleaner and our boar's hair detailing brush. That way we ensure that there's absolutely nothing that's going to interfere with our bond. And now that we're done scrubbing, we're simply going to grab a soft microfiber towel and we're going to buff off the residue of the Nonsense all-purpose cleaner along with any of the dirt and grime that we've extracted from the surfaces. One of the biggest things that I do want to talk about right now is all the different types of surfaces that we're cleaning here. So right off the bat, we have plastic, we have this kind of synthetic vinyl material that these Toyotas are known for. Now this right here is a soft tex leather material, which is basically a synthetic leather. So you can either go with our leather cleaner, or in this case, we're gonna go with our Nonsense all-purpose cleaner because it's gonna work great in both occasions. So now that we have this all nice and wiped off, well, for the most part, I'm just gonna make sure that we wipe off all the residue before we move on to applying our dressing. All right, so now that we're done wiping off the residue of our Nonsense all-purpose cleaner, just give me a second here. I'm gonna grab two products. First and foremost, we have our Silk Shine Protectant, and secondly, we have a microfiber applicator. Now, Silk Shine is a water-based dressing that is intended for vinyl, rubber, and plastic surfaces on interior and exterior surfaces. So as you can imagine, this thing will work out great on door panels, dashboards, center consoles, these synthetic leather seats, as well as exterior trim, tires, bumpers, mirror covers, and so much more. So right now I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to condition your vinyl, rubber, and plastic trim with Silk Shine. So all you want to do is make sure that's in the spray setting, and then you want to go to shake it up to make sure that the product is well mixed in. And then we're going to spray about 4 to 5 sprays onto our soft microfiber applicator here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to set your bottle down. And then I'm going to start off in this lower area, that way you guys can kind of better see, just because there's so much lines and textures going on right here. But basically, whenever you start applying Silk Shine, you'll see that automatically it adds a ton of depth to the plastic trim. Now, this dressing is not just intended for making your trim look great. This dressing is actually also to protect the surface. So when it comes to the UV rays, these plastics are easily susceptible to damage. So this dressing is going to help prevent a lot of those UV rays from damaging your surfaces, from drying, fading, cracking, discoloration, and so much more. And it's very easy to apply. As you guys can see, it's just a matter of having enough product on the applicator. Now, the reason that it's called Silk Shine in the first place is because it's supposed to deliver more of like a very mild satin looking shine. So not a super wet, dripping, greasy look or anything like that. This is just intended to give it that nice little oomph of shine. Now, right now it may look super shiny just because the product is moist and it's going on a dry surface, but as the product sits on the surface, you'll realize that the shine actually tones down and you're left with more of a semi-gloss look. All right, now one point I do want to establish right now is our camera guy, which you guys can't see right now. He called out that this shine is a little bit too much for him, and that's completely fine because not everyone loves the shine. And for those of you guys who don't love that shine, let me give you guys a pro tip. So after you're done applying your coat of Silk Shine, what you want to do is you want to grab a clean and dry microfiber towel, and you simply just want to go over the area. And this is just to ensure that you remove any kind of excess sitting on the surface, which may be causing that extra level of shine that you don't want. And this is also to ensure that you have a fully dry to the touch finish. So if you guys can see my gloves, and we do a quick punch in, they're completely dry. And as I wipe my gloves on the surface, I'll pull them off, and you guys will see that there's absolutely no kind of grease or oils coming off whatsoever. So pro tip for you guys, if you don't love the shine, buff it off with a microfiber towel. Next on the list, we have to clean this glass. Now, just because I already cleaned the door panel, I need to clean this glass afterwards, just because I don't want to get any overspray onto the door panel. One thing I do want to do before we clean the glass is take off this sticker, which is probably not a good thing to have, especially if you have aftermarket window tints. See that? It's not going nowhere. To clean the glass, we're going to be using our streak-free glass cleaner. Now, the reason that we're using our streak-free glass cleaner is because it's ammonia-free, which means that it's safe to use on any kind of aftermarket or stock window tints. And this is a very easy to use product. All you have to do is simply spray some directly onto the microfiber towel and wipe the surface. Now, just because I just cleaned the door panel and I don't want to have any kind of overspray land on the door panel, I'm not going to spray directly, but if I didn't have cleaned the door panel already, I would have sprayed the glass directly. But in this case, we're going to minimize overspray. We're going to spray directly onto our towel. Give it a couple sprays, and then we're simply just going to start wiping down the surface. Now, you guys saw that there was a bunch of dirt, there's a grime, there's a bunch of sticky residue on the glass itself, which, it's a big no-no. You never want that stuff to sit on your window tints just because your window tints are of a plastic or vinyl material. So if you do let those sit for a while, they'll permanently stain the surface, and you're not going to have that full crystal clear clarity. So it's always best to clean your glass, not only for yourself, but for safety reasons as well. Now that I've shown you guys how to clean your door panels and your glass, now it's time to show you guys how to clean the interior plastics as well as this leather synthetic material. So we're gonna go back to our cleaner. Now we have our non-tint all-purpose cleaner, and one of the things that I felt like I didn't really make it too much of a point before when we were cleaning the door panel was non-tint is an all-purpose cleaner, so you can use it on interior surfaces, exterior surfaces, and so much more. Now, this is designed for a more deep level of cleaning. If you have genuine leather materials like actual leather seat or leather goods, then if you have leather seats, you want to make sure to go with their leather cleaner instead, because that's actually going to be safe and an OEM cleaner for your leather. Now, believe it or not, when it comes to synthetic leather and genuine leather, there is actually a pretty big difference. When it comes to genuine leather, just treat it like your skin. You don't want to use anything that's too aggressive on it because it can damage it. Now, in this case, our non-tint all-purpose cleaner is more of a stronger cleaner, but since this is a synthetic material, it's going to be perfectly safe to use on it. I'm going to grab my cleaner, I'm going to spray directly onto the affected areas that we want to go ahead and clean up, as well as this plastic door sill as well, because as you can see, there's a bunch of footprints on it, and we don't want that stuff on there because it looks nasty. And then we're going to use the same process by spraying the cleaner onto the surface, And then we're simply gonna start scrubbing it with our choice of brush. Now, you guys may be asking, why am I using this brush as compared to any other brush in the world? Well, I love this brush because it has flexible bristles, it's soft, and it's gonna work out great for this sensitive material. And we want to make sure that you're not using a brush that's dedicated for carpets, because as you guys know, those brushes tend to be more stiff in texture and they're also nylon bristles. So if you're using that on a leather material, you can cause some pretty bad damage. So always play it safe. Boar's hair detailing brush. When in doubt, know your way out. I think I got that from Zombieland. Is that like rule number 3? Then a pro tip, whenever it comes to cleaning your interior surfaces, I would honestly recommend that occasionally, after cleaning a certain amount of areas on your interior, grab your brush that you're using, grab your microfiber towel, and then simply wipe the bristles alongst the towel. That way you remove any kind of abrasive particles, which can potentially scratch any of your interior surfaces. So you guys will see right here up close, once I show the camera in a second here. If we do a close-up, probably put it in the shade, you can see that there's a lot of little abrasive particles right here, right there. And a lot of that stuff can potentially scratch, as well as all this dirt and grime. As you guys can see, this is a darker area versus this vibrant, bright yellow around. That's all the dirt and grime we just extracted from the brush. That's all the stuff that has been sitting in the bristles of the brush. So you want to make sure that you occasionally clean out your brush every couple panels or so. And then we're obviously not going to use that side to wipe the surface because we don't want to scratch it. We're going to use a fresh side of this microfiber towel to buff off the residue of our nonsense all-purpose cleaner to unveil that beautiful clean. All right, so we just finished cleaning just this little section, not even the whole seat, not even the whole door sill. And just check this out, you guys. If I put this towel in the shadow, you guys will see all the dirt and grime that we've extracted just from this small little area, which is honestly kind of concerning, just because we've only cleaned, I wouldn't even say 5% of the interior, and we already have something that looks like this. So it should be a pretty cool adventure to see how much dirtier this whole interior is. So that's what we're gonna tackle right now. We're gonna finish cleaning the rest of the interior. And what I mean by that is the rest of the door panels on all sides, all the leather seats, all the materials, the center console, the dashboard. And we're gonna follow the exact same procedures that we did on the door panel by cleaning it with nonsense in the brush, wiping off the residue, and then coating it with silk shine to unveil that beautiful shine. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out the way, and yeah, we'll be right back with you guys once we're done. Clean. All right, guys, and to conclude this interior detail, we're gonna spray the interior with some Ghosted Odor Eliminator. Now, as you can imagine, we just did a full deep clean on this interior and everything looks great, except for one thing, which is the aroma, and it smells like but we're gonna be using our Ghosted Odor Eliminator, which has a light citrus tracer scent, which is designed to eliminate very foul odors at the source. So as you can imagine, all the stains and dirt and grime that basically cause that odor, causing bacteria on the back seats and the front seats and the trunk and everything, especially those cleats as well, to get rid of that smell. We're just gonna give it a couple spritz of Ghosted and make those odors disappear. And just like that, with a few Chemical Guys products, we can easily transform this interior soccer mom nightmare to a beautiful masterpiece. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a huge thumbs up, which reminds me, we should probably take these gloves off because these things are at their end. Give us a huge thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always, if you guys want to pick up any of the products that you guys saw in today's episode, they're going to be linked in the description and in the pinned comment down below. As always, my name is Joey, this is Chemical Guys, we'll see you next time.